Well, good morning. I appreciate everybody. Well, is that working all right? Sound good? They want us to start on time, so it's 9:45, so we're starting. Just to give you the quick heads up, my name's Ron Hyder Marketing. We're going to talk about video ads if you're wondering if you're in the right place. So that's what we'll be discussing today. I put some handouts for everybody to follow along. I know you guys are getting hit with a fire hose of information, so I thought I'd simplify it a little bit. And you could just take some notes, got a little checklist here to move along. I am hoping we make this more of a discussion, not just another talking head kicking out information. So what we'll be doing today is kind of giving you a quick overview of what some of the video ads are all about, how you can implement those for your dealership, and get a lot of question and answer time to go along with that. I do have a 23-year-old and an 18-year-old in the house. So I'm a big believer in participation prizes. So there are 10 participation prizes up for grabs. So I'm hoping to get some participation here. So I'm going to start out with a quick question just so I can kind of get a feel for everybody here. What do you believe for your dealership is the absolute best form of advertising? Facebook? Word of mouth? Referrals. All great answers. I'll put all that into a little caveat. Those are great answers, provided you run it through the filter of, is it providing good quality clients for the least amount of money? Because anything can possibly work. And I believe that the video ads can be one of those things that you can go ahead and layer in to what you are doing. So what we're going to talk about today, I'll break it down. I'm pretty compartmentalized myself. We'll talk about why video. We'll talk about the power of YouTube. We'll talk about auto buyers and what they are currently doing with video and specifically with YouTube. Talk about what I'm going to call an untapped opportunity because I think a lot of people are missing out on this. And then we'll get into some of the details, creating your content, setting up your page, getting your content found, and then there are some ad opportunities to really bolster up your ads, your response. So we'll start with YouTube. Give you guys a quick overview. I just want to follow on a couple things a lot of people don't know about. YouTube is the second largest search engine on the planet. They're owned by Google. They're the number 2 search engine. So when it comes to finding your dealership, getting found, and comes to finding people, get you ranked, YouTube is a great place to be because they've gotten the second largest traffic. We've got 6 billion hours of video being watched each month across the platform. 17% of all internet traffic flows directly through YouTube. So that's just a massive number. It's a great starting point. And then the big kicker is bottom right, 25% of all views taking place on a mobile device. So we've all heard everything's on mobile, everybody's doing searching on mobile. The difference is YouTube has become the world's largest television player and video distribution channel. And nobody wants to watch video on their smartphone. It's too small. We want to watch it on our smart TV. So it gives you an opportunity to highlight your dealership as basically a TV ad and your own television channel and network and have people stream it through their smart TV. So it's a great opportunity for you to get involved with that. So everybody usually says, well, that's great. People watch the stupid cat videos and are looking at the prank videos. What about automotive? Well, here's what we've seen. 1 year, 2017 to 2018, we've seen a 220% increase in the amount of automotive videos watched through YouTube. A lot of people are looking for the content. We just need to provide it to them. Specifically, what are consumers asking for with automotive content? 3 things they tell us they want. They want a walk around, show the car, right? Show the inventory, do a virtual test drive, and how-to content. We're going to come back a lot more. We're going to park here because this is really some of the missing link that a lot of dealerships are missing out on. But that's kind of a quick overview with what they're looking for. So where is the opportunity? And this is participation prize time. So first question, scale of 1 to 10. How many drivers do you think are currently using YouTube? How many of your customers? 10? Close. A little high. Who said 8? Oh, you win. You win. We got 8 out of 10 drivers currently using YouTube. So pretty high percentage, right? That's 80% of our customer base. All right? Next question. People say, people are hopping in and out. Maybe it's like Facebook. They check in for a few minutes. They check out. How many minutes of video do you think people are watching every time they hop on? 2. Who said 35? All right. You're very close. You are the closest. So to keep the party going here, it's actually 40 minutes of video. So they log on, they're checking out different videos. That's the equivalent of 2 television programs. The average TV program is 22 minutes in length, so they can watch 2 television programs in that 40 minutes worth of time. All right. So now let's get a little closer to home. Automotive. Person's looking for a car. How many automotive videos do you think they are watching prior to purchase? 20. 14. 3. Who said 8? I saw 2 hands go up. It's actually, you said 8. You said 8. It's actually 10. So, was there anybody? Did you say 8 too? You said, oh, okay. I've got extra prizes. We'll hand them out. You had the exact answer. I won't forget about you. All right. So 10 automotive videos are being watched before it. And now this is the real kicker. On a percent of all U.S. companies, retailers, car dealers, how many companies do you think are actively participating with the channel? Who said 10? There we go. There's from last time, and this is for this time. 10% of companies are actively participating with the channel. So when you take a look at a summary of our opportunity, again, a lot of people say, where's the opportunity, right? So I got 80% of drivers are on the platform. They're checking out 40 minutes per session. We've seen a 220% increase in the videos they're watching. 10 videos they're watching before a purchase, yet only 10% of the dealers are participating. A lot of people come to me, I'm the marketing guy, and they say, man, we're all looking for the silver bullet. What is the best form of advertising? Well, this is an opportunity that I believe is just waiting to be tapped into because we have a ton of potential customers on the platform. They're looking for the content, but not many people are even providing it and giving it to them. Make sense? So, everybody on board so far? In agreement? Got you saying, yeah, maybe we should get involved in this? So the first thing you got to do is say, well, we need to set up a platform, and we're going to have to set up how we're going to distribute our videos. So you have to set up a YouTube channel. Show of hands, whose dealership has a YouTube channel set up? Pretty good. Next question. Do you know who owns it? You do. Are you sure? Okay. What you want to make sure, again, I run into this with a lot of people. Here's what happens a lot of times, so check it. I'll encourage you to check it. Maybe you're savvy, maybe you're not. The sales rep walks in, he's 25, 28, he says, oh, I can set that channel up. And he sets it up under his name, his email, his phone. He leaves. He owns that content. You need to own it. So YouTube has an opportunity. You can set up what's called a brand account, where you set it up under your dealership. And then just like any other Facebook platform, Google platform, you can assign people access to that particular channel. And then if they leave, you just remove the access, and you still have ownership. Next thing we do is customize it. And then the third thing, and this is where everybody falls down, they have the description and the links. So, give you an idea, we'll pick on Ford. We're not picking on them. They're actually doing a great job, but I know they're not here. But I work with some Ford dealers, so they said, sure, you can show us. They do a great job on setting up the channel. They've got a custom banner, they've got their logo, they've got links to all their website, their social media platforms. They got a little trailer, tells you about what the channel is going to be about. But the big thing that they've got going on, and this is where most independents fall down, is you don't complete the process of telling people, and mainly YouTube, what the channel is about, and that is with the description and the links. When you set up your channel, you're allowed 1,000 characters to tell YouTube what the channel is all about. Okay? Google, which owns YouTube, is very good at reading text. They're not very good at reading video. All right? So we have to tell them what it's about. So 1,000 characters, which is about 10 to 12 sentences of information about your dealership. This is who we are. And then the big thing is when you're setting it up are the links that we can offer. Links will take people off the platform back to the website, which is ultimately what we want them to do, so we can actually start showing them some vehicles. But there is a second and actually a little more important reason why we want to add the links, and that is for what we call off-site SEO. Anybody familiar with the term? Yes. So basically, Google comes out, for those who don't know, they say, we realize we're not the only game in town for search results. We realize there's other websites and platforms that are providing a lot of traffic. And if you participate with those platforms, we will give you SEO credit. But you have to properly link the website. They call it link juice, where you're going to link back and forth between these high traffic websites. YouTube is a highly trafficked website. So link your website, on that platform. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just a little side note, I personally don't believe today we as independents are going to sell a lot of cars off Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn. But I believe you should do it for off-site SEO. And you can set it up automatically. You can use their software systems called Hootsuite. This is a great one. It's free, where it'll put all your channels in. You take a video, you take a piece of content, you create something you want to push out, and it'll push it out to all your platforms at one time. And that will give you that link juice credit. So just a little extra. Yes, sir?
What was the name of it again?
Hootsuite, like the owl. They hoot. So, and they'll give it to you. You're up to, I think it's up to 5 channels for free. And then if you link more than 5 channels, it's a pretty inexpensive platform to use. But it allows you to monitor all these different pages in real time. You can see comments. You can, see all that activity just through that one single dashboard. Pretty fun piece of software to use. Make sense? All right. So now let's get to the fun part, creating content. I heard a couple other speakers ask earlier, a couple of different sessions, who does TV ads? Of course, you're independents. Probably not a lot of you because it's pretty expensive. A lot of the franchise guys do it. And I work with some franchise guys. We say we use TV to make them rich and famous, mainly famous. Because all we need to do is have the guy say, hey, I saw you on TV. Yeah, they just keep spending money because they see them on TV. But you don't have that luxury as an independent. But YouTube can become that vehicle just because of the sheer volume, of content that's being watched to give your dealership that level of notoriety and just from a promotional aspect. But again, the 3 things we want to focus on, because we're only going to give the content that customers have asked us for. Again, walkarounds, test drives, and then how-to or answer-based content. So with the walkarounds, we have a little more of a challenge as an independent because we have one of one. Right? I've got one 2010 F-150 XLT black, and I have one something else. Whereas the franchise guy, he has one of many. So what we've been advising our clients and different dealers to do is say, let's do a walk around of our trucks. Let's do a walk around and showcase our SUVs. Let's showcase our sedans, our gas sippers, and do a walk around of those and give people a bigger view of all the things that we have to offer. Backlink that to the website, put that on the homepage, check out our trucks, check out our SUVs. And the nice thing about using YouTube as your video player is you're not putting all this content on your website, which will slow it down. Because what we know is with websites, people give you, it's 3 3 seconds and 3 clicks to get where they want. If I'm hosting a ton of video on it, that's going to slow it down. But if I'm hosting the video somewhere else and feeding it through, it's not going to slow it down. So that's a great free way to feed that video through you. The virtual test drives, these nobody's doing. Consumers love it. Well, the new car guys are doing it, and they're just doing little virtual test drives. Get a GoPro, get a camera, and go do a little test drive. Get yourself, get your sales manager. Hey, I'm Ron, and I'm one of ABC Motors, and today we're test driving our trucks. And in with me is the general manager, and we're going to go test drive a bunch of trucks. People love that kind of content because it's fun, it's exciting, and it doesn't take us a lot to do. We're probably going to shoot the video anyways because we're doing the walkarounds, we're showing that content. Well, let's put it in a fun video form and then let them go ahead and take a look at it. They can comment on it, go back and forth, and just start, again, building that relationship with you. It'll also show a little bit of who you are, let your personality show out a little bit. Then the final thing where I believe you as an independent can really take over the market is with how-to and answer-based content. All right? Customers come in, they ask you a lot of questions. You can answer that in the form of a video, mainly finance, insurance, how to get approved. So a lot of people come in, a lot of young buyers. What do I need to do to get approved for a loan? Put that in a video format. They will watch that. This content really isn't out there from an independent standpoint. What is F&I? What is gap insurance? How does buy here, pay here work? How does this whole in-house? Just answer those questions, and I think you'll be really surprised with the traction that you start seeing coming from it. So just to kind of give you an idea, again, picking on our friends at Ford, they've got an entire playlist of all their walk-around videos. They take all their vehicles, they've got their trucks, their cars, their SUVs, and then they link them together in big playlists. They have channels set up for all their accessories, their parts. And you could do the same thing. I'm sure some of you do customer pay service work. You could talk about, bring your car in, we do tires, we do service, and whatever you're doing, just tell the story in a video. I mean, we ask customers all the time, say, if you're getting if you're getting information, what would you rather do? Would you rather read it or would you rather watch a video? Everybody says, I'd rather watch a video because it's a lot more fun. And then they can pull that video in at their own time. Then what Ford does, they've created an entire channel on finance and how to get finance. They talk about gap insurance. They talk about, bringing in your own insurance, down payments, how to calculate payments. You could do the same. Yes?
So if I was to do a video on buy here, pay here, am I buy here, pay here versus my local market? Do I throw that in there?
I would always personalize it.
Like how to find buy here, pay here financing in
Anytown, USA. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what you want to do, good question. Still have some prizes. What you want to do with any of the video content is personalize it because, again, it's going to be an extension of yourself, an extension of your dealership, and you do want to talk to your own town. What we're not doing, I said in earlier to the guy with Carvana, I think it's an interesting business model. They're a national provider. You're not that, right? You're selling cars in your town. So you're going to sell cars in a 150-mile, maybe 100-mile radius. So own your backyard. So we want to talk to people in our community and make it as personal as we possibly can. That make sense? So, any other questions on kind of content? So, have fun with it. It's a lot of fun. You can make yourself a little superstar, become really popular. Yes?
Do you make posts? Do you think that hashtags do good?
If you limit your hashtags to about 2 to 3. Different things, because you don't want to, you're seen as sort of like a hashtag spammer or hashtag stuffer. So that's a big, and consumers have picked up on that when they see different posts and content, and there'll be 9 different hashtags. They'll be like, well, this guy's just trying to get my attention. But if it, you want to make it meaningful, as far as the hashtag, but you're always wanting to talk about different things and keep it more relevant.
How much people watch, how long the video should be? I mean, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
What we're finding is anywhere in the 3 to 5 minute window is getting a really good amount of traction. What YouTube is great for is it serves well for a longer form, a longer formatted video. And people actually respond to that. One of the things, again, going back to kind of the content, that you would create, people or consumers, they love consuming, what is the difference between an F-150, a Silverado, and a Ram 1500. We're going to talk about that difference. Here's all the great things about the F-150. You spend a minute or two on that. You spend a minute or two on the Ram, a minute or two on the Silverado. Oh, but guess what? We don't play favors. We've got them all available at ABC Auto Sales, and so we can, be able to tie that in and, again, use that to your advantage. But about that 5 to 6 minutes, seems to be the sweet spot currently. It's always changing, but that's today. Push it out, yeah.
Push it out. I'd love to and I've looked at our YouTube channel as an area that we can certainly do so much better at. Is there any way to market our YouTube channel like I can with my social media content, where on Facebook I can advertise to an area or to a buyer? Do you provide anything like that?
You're about 2 slides ahead. We're going to get there. Yeah.
Stitching together pictures and creating YouTubes. And it's been a non-stop. And when they originally started it, they said the good benefit of this is just like you're saying. You get your name out there, and it helps build for replacement on the web. Is there a time to take a video down? Because right now I've probably got about 1,000 videos. Obviously, most of the cars I don't have anymore. Is there a negative to that?
There would be no negative. And yeah, if you, yeah,
never take them off.
Because you might have one of those cars come back, and again, it's a conversation piece.
And the other thing is that they're an automated voice that talks about the car based on the content on the website.
Yeah, it's pulling it out of the.
How those rate?
Those don't rate well. No.
So we're talking about, and that's what we found. I know I'll get about once a month or twice a month, I'll get a request for information on one of the cars. And, I saw it I followed it to your YouTube. What they primarily use it for is links in the advertising. So somebody can see a video of it. But you're saying that's 5 years ago. Now you're talking about taking it to the next level, creating content that's much more personal, whereas that is totally dry and not personal at all.
Yeah, those videos are still good when they're linked maybe to your VDP, right? And they want to take a look at it. There's the car, and we've got some quick information. Here's that little walk around. But as far as starting to create a relationship with customers, which is ultimately what we want to do, people still buy from people. And this is a great platform for us to build that relationship with. This, that video is never going to build a relationship. And what we found as far as production quality, we don't want to make it too cheesy, but we don't want Hollywood to show up. Okay, because if Hollywood shows up, we're going to be like, these guys are too slick. So you kind of want it real. People are looking for transparency. They want it to be real. They want to feel like, I know this guy. That's a guy I could have a conversation with. And so you want to deliver that way. So the automated videos are never going to deliver that, so they just don't watch them. I saw a different.
I have a setup question, because I created my YouTube page years ago, and I created a Google address specific to the dealership. YouTube page under that. That is not the same address I have on my Google My Business. So I'm just curious, because I did this all like I'm just wondering, like, if there's a little setup hack or linking your YouTube page to your Google My Business. We want them all on the same platform.
So what I would do, whatever that main login that you had, did everybody hear her question? She's got multiple logins, is really the situation here. And yes, you can link the accounts. We highly recommend linking, YouTube, Google Ads, have everything coming into that one main platform so you can see everything at one shot. What you can do, one of two ways, specifically for this question. You could go into your current YouTube account and request that a conversion be made to a brand account. Talked about that. And if they'll make the conversion to a brand, then you can associate different users to that account. Or the flip would be with Google My Business, that came pre-built as a brand account, and you can sign in different people, and you can just use that Google login, make it the same on Google My Business. Then you've got one login that can access everything. And you could do the same with Google Ads and Google Analytics, and then everything is flowing through that one single login. Yeah, because nobody likes to log in and log out. Pain in the butt. We good? All right. And don't leave because you get a prize because that was a really good question. So here's where a lot of the people fall down. We create the content. We get a video. It's a good, what we feel is going to be, really good content. There's three things that we always fall down on as independents: the title, the description, and the tags. Most of the titles, and you were talking about it, the gentleman about with the auto, kind of where they automatically build it. The title doesn't match what people are searching for. You want your title to match how people search, all right? And there's two great sources to find out how people search, and that is through your Google My Business. Look at the Insights tab. It will give you dozens of ways people are searching for you and your content. The other thing is you could get a little more advanced and actually go into the keyword planner, and that will give you Excel spreadsheet after page of how people search. So just find how those searches are taking place, and that becomes the title, and then the title matches what the video is about. The description, this is a second description. We had a description early on talking about what the page is about. This is a description about the video itself. Again, it's 1,000 characters, 10 to 12 sentences, and you could go in and you could tell everything specifically about that specific video. The tags, these are basically hashtags, and these are keywords that people would search for. And what all of this information is doing, it's telling YouTube what this video is all about. And as you upload the video, this is going to kind of be the screen that you see, and it's a step-by-step process. You can just go right down the line. Now, what we recommend is, well, I got ahead of myself. Once you do all this, you can hit the publish button. You'll see a screen like this, and if you set your page up correctly and everything's linked, from this page, you can push that video right to Facebook, right to Twitter, send it to your blog page, send it everywhere that you have already set up in advance. And if it doesn't participate, you grab that little link and you just drop it in there, and boom, that video will show right up from there. Make sense? So one of the things we want to do, some time savers, is preloading things. And this is going back to each individual video because it's going to be difficult. It seems like a lot of work, right? You got to shoot a video, and I got to do a title, a tag, and description. Well, we can preload the keywords. We can preload the description so that it'll automatically apply to every video. Then you can come back and add, sort of customize it from that standpoint. So you take a video, you've got all your keywords loaded, you've got a pre-built description talking about who you are, the vehicles, the cars, and then as you add that specific video, you can go in and change the tags and change the, add to it. Couple questions. Yes?
How frequently should you be uploading videos? Or, sort of at the same time you're turning inventory? So you got a few months every couple months to walk around, or more frequently than that?
as often as you have time for. I would recommend with any social media platform, kind of what we found with Google My Business, and the vote is still out on this, what that best practice is, because that's a relatively new platform. I would say at least once a week, try to go out there and get some new, fresh content and push that content out. So that would be a good place to start. Yes?
I know with the YouTube algorithm, they say consistency is key, and if you want to be found organically, they recommend 2 times minimum a week and for a couple minutes.
If you have time, that would be great. You know, if you have, again, somebody, if you've got somebody, maybe your sales manager, your GM, somebody who's, good with the camera, and maybe you do a truck of the week, an SUV of the week, a sedan of the week, that would probably be optimal, because then you're covering the main 3 bases, and then you just keep pushing that content out through all the channels. That would help. But starting out, what you don't want to do is overwhelm yourself, right? Because you get a lot of people with these channels, they're creating multiple videos a day, pushing that content out. We're just not going to have that time. You guys wear tons of hats. And your franchise counterparts, they've got a lot of structure, right? Owner, GM, a lot of people. You don't have that. Yes?
Do you recommend that for all platforms as far as putting videos out there as much as you can?
As much as you can. Yeah. The thing with social media is it's an astronomical number. Now, this is globally, not just the United States. It's about 60 billion messages a day get pushed out globally. So you have to be doing things to making yourself relevant. But again, we're not a global provider. We're our hometown provider. So it has to work for you. What you want to be is consistent. If you're going to do it, commit to once a week. Make sure you do it once a week. Then as you get good with that, say, okay, I think we could take it to 2 a week. And then maybe take it to 3 a week. It's the old, walk before you run. Yes?
What would be the key in how you get people in your area to see your channel? Instead of, people in, across the planet or wherever, how do you get people to walk in your area and watch your channel?
Gentleman up here asked the same question. Let's move it up. Here we go. YouTube offers some really affordable marketing platforms. Because in a perfect world, which is what we wanted Facebook to do, right? We create the content, people magically find us, we never have to pay a dime. So that's what we would hope happens. But it's very competitive, and there's a lot of content out there. So like Facebook makes all their money off selling ads to get noticed, YouTube does the same thing. And you have 3 ways to get yourself, your dealership, and your channel noticed. You can run what's called an in-display ad, and that's just a banner ad that's going to be up at the top right-hand side of this channel when it comes up. Hey, check out my dealership. Here's my channel. Those do not work well. Extremely poor click-through rate. The skippable ads, which is what made YouTube and Google a mountain of money, because that's typically what they do. And then, which is relatively new, the non-skippable ads. This came out last year sometime. So I'm going to focus on the 2 difference, the skippable ads and the non-skippable. And just to back up a little bit, we can be doing 2 things with these. We can be just promoting the dealership, as you would like a TV ad, or you could be promoting the channel, or a mix of both. So it's really what it is that you're going to want to do. With the skippable ads, YouTube, again, owned by Google, it's a pay-per-click format. So like Google, you get your pay-per-click ad out there, somebody clicks on the ad, you pay. With YouTube, someone has to watch your video, they will click on that video, but you don't pay unless they actually complete that video. So one of the things we try to do is get the call to actions in the videos early. Because at 7 seconds, Google will deem that a completed video. But if I can get them off that video in less than 7 seconds, I don't pay. So I'd like to do that. So I'd like to get them engaged as quickly as I can and get them off that. But that's the skippable ad. The non-skippable is YouTube got smart, again, about a year or so ago, and they said, wow, we're losing tons of revenue because people are skipping the ads, and we're not getting paid for them. They said, so we'll create this new non-skippable ad. It's a little bit more money, and it's lower. It's a shorter ad. Most times with a skippable ad, there's no set time to it. You could do 20 seconds, 30, 40 seconds, but as long as it gets to 25%, that's when they view, okay, they've seen enough of the ad and we will charge you. With the non-skippable ad, different by country, here in the United States, it's 15 seconds currently. So we can create a 15-second ad, and I can go in and I can tell YouTube, say, I want to run a non-skippable ad campaign. And they'll say, okay, we're going to charge you a little bit more, but it works just the same as any other ad platform. You pick your geography, you pick your zip codes, you exclude areas, you can retarget through it, and you pick the demographics, age, income, gender, all of it. And that's all coming through their ad platform, and those are the people who will see that ad. And again, we can use it to either promote the channel or promote the dealership, or usually a combination of both. What we've been recommending to our clients is take whatever budget you have and split it in half. Let's do half with the skippable ads, get my longer form content out there, and then half with the non-skippable ad. Because I can still say a lot in 10 seconds. Yep.
Do they make it possible to target your audience based on what they're watching at that moment?
That would be, yes. You're getting a little more advanced. But yeah, you can actually get into, it's called affinity-based targeting. And so you go in and you can find out, okay, I want to target outdoor enthusiasts. I want to target rock climbers. I want to do people jumping out of airplanes. All these opportunities and selections will start showing up. Make sense? So, and the difference is it's not expensive because right now, again, not a lot of people are participating with it. So it's all supply and demand. If you're going to do a basic in-stream skippable ad, and we're going to do some basic targeting, right? I want it 50 miles around my dealership. I want 18 to 54-year-olds. I want people interested in trucks. Just some base level targeting. You're going to pay about 1 to 2 pennies per completed view. I think that's pretty inexpensive. It's a lot more expensive than TV because that equates to $10 to $20 a thousand. If you try to buy TV ads in your current market, most markets are about $80 to $100 a thousand without targeting. It's just like, you're on news at 10. Here you go. You get to get all our audience. And so with this, I get to pick my audience, pick my geography, and pick who gets to see it. At the high end of the spectrum, if I'm really going to do what you were just talking about, really hyper-target at and say, man, I want, F-150 enthusiasts. That's the only people I want seeing that ad. This town, they haven't layered it in yet, but they're talking about it. Actually, then you can get into possible credit scores, a lot of those different things. You'll pay about 9 cents to have someone watch that view. Again, in my view, am I willing to pay 9 cents to have someone in my town interested in my product, watching the content I want? To me, 9 cents is pretty cheap, I think. So, make sense? I want to go back one thing real quick because I skipped over it. As you build your content, what we want to do is create playlists. Okay? What a playlist is a similar video that's linked together. Because what happens with YouTube, with their algorithm, is I've logged on, I'm watching content, and if there's not a playlist linked to it, YouTube will automatically decide what video I watch next, unless I have a playlist. So if they find my video, and I've got maybe 5 videos linked together in a playlist, it will automatically play that next video. And so it's just like anything else, right? We want them on the website. The more time they spend, the more vehicles they look at, the more things they do, the better chance we have of getting them to convert and become a customer. So that was just... Make sense? Just to kind of give you a look, this is kind of what the ads will look like as you run them. Your ad will appear in one of 3 places, the search results page. I'm on YouTube, I'm looking for cars, I'm looking for dealerships. It could show up on the search results page. I spent a lot of time on YouTube. This is where I would see it, on my watch page, because that's what's going to automatically populate. YouTube has identified me. Oh, he's a truck lover, he's an SUV lover, he's in market. Boom, that's where that ad goes. And again, we don't pay for the ad to appear. but you have to participate to get the ad to even show up. And then if you're Marvel Comics or Ford, you can do a homepage takeover. And last we checked, just for kicks, it was around $35,000 a day to have your ad rotate with other people. So probably a little out of reach today, but something to dream about, right? So again, what's it cost? Low side, 1 to 2 pennies for a completed view. High side, if we're going to hyper target, 8-9 cents. Now, and again, I believe it's a great opportunity because, again, as we went back, not a lot of people are participating. It could be a great avenue for us to get that content out in front of people. So, what other questions? Yes?
So we talked a lot about kind of branding the dealership. Would you recommend making a specific video on being an aged piece of inventory and sponsoring it through the ads? Has that been effective?
Yeah, that's been effective, and we're if you've got some kind of specific inventory that you want to move, because then you can go in through, again, it's so more advanced targeted, but you could find people interested in that particular vehicle. That's a great way to do that, and it's pretty inexpensive. And right through, they've got, you could see the results either through the analytics, if you link it, through the AdWords platform, or if you don't have that, YouTube's got their own platform set up, and you can track everything that's going on there. Another area we've had great success is if you have something really unique. You've got an old Jaguar, you've got an old classic car. That'll get tons of traffic off that to do a video specific on that. Yes?
So, to piggyback off of his question, is there any data out there that tells us what the most effective in our space, in car dealer space, the most effective advertising is, whether it's finance related or specific inventory related or just general branding? Is there any information out there like that to provide that?
It's pretty new. The data is available, but because not a lot of people are participating with it, it's kind of unreliable.
What's your opinion?
Our opinion is what's really getting the most traction are, if we can do it, the virtual test drive. That is what consumers want to see, hands down. See us out there in the car, showing the vehicle, link it to a walk around. And the other thing that I believe will give us great results is tackling the finance questions, tackling the F&I, tackling those type of things. Because a lot of people don't know. And I talked about it earlier. My son's 23. He's never bought a car. He doesn't have a clue. Chances are he's not going to call me and say, hey, Dad, I'm thinking about buying a car. What do I need to go to? Because he's got to figure it out on his own. But he would definitely look up a video and say, what do I got to do to get approved for a loan? What do I need to bring in? And then you could just spell it right out. And we're in a day and an age of transparency. Everybody wants stuff up front. Just tell them, this is what you need. We need proof of income. We need proof of residency. You need 10% now, whatever that thing is, and just tell them. Yes?
What's the highest age group that's watching? So are these commercials, are these videos for maybe more millennials, or are they?
Currently, it's a heavy 18 to 54 audience bracket. What we have seen in the last, especially 2 years, with the cord cutting, because cable bills have gotten so expensive, and streaming is becoming so much more popular with people, and YouTube set themselves up as the streaming device internationally. So I can watch HGTV. My wife will watch, House Hunters, Beachfront Bargain Hunt, all these programs. You can watch ESPN, I can watch live sports, and that content comes through here. So as more people cut the cord, we're seeing more and more older demographics get into streaming, so that's becoming more. But currently today, 18 to 54 is a real, yes?
In the buy here, pay here part of the industry, it's less about the car and more about getting people financed. They can't get financed anywhere else. What experience do you have for a buy here, pay here dealership in YouTube?
What we are finding works is, again, the open transparency with the buy here, pay here. Just explaining your process. There's a lot of places you can get a car. Here's how we work it. And just tell them, we need 2 years verifiable. I mean, whatever your process is, whatever you need. We've got a client that I'm working with back in my hometown. He's got the simplest thing. Proof of residency, 10% down, you drive today. That's a pretty clear, crystal clear message, right?
What kind of traction did that give him when you put it in there?
Sold about an extra 10 to 15%, pretty quickly.
How long has he been doing it?
How long has he been doing buy here, pay here, or the videos? About 90 days. It's pretty new. Pretty new. Yes?
Do you feel like that's a realistic number? By putting more videos on, should we see a 10 to 15% increase in sales, or is there a number? And I want a free gift.
Okay. Man, I've got to hand it out now. Holy cow. That's all right.
Add on to the same question in reference to buy here, pay here, or inventory, the same thing as what you just said.
Sure. I don't know if there is a hard answer, to give it. I'll give you an example. I've got a client there in Charleston, South Carolina. We spend $1,500 a month on Google-related products. $500 a month is in pay-per-click, and $1,000 is in YouTube. We sell about 90 cars a month, and most of it is coming through the YouTube channel. And then, so we do the pay-per-click to back up what we're doing through YouTube, and they're about 75% buy here, pay here, and 25% retail or cash deal. So they're using that purely to drive that traffic.
At our dealership, our inventory is pretty diverse. We sell cars, trucks, SUVs, RVs, campers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, snowmobiles, four-wheelers. What do you suggest as far as separating any of that out on our YouTube channel? Or do we just lump it all together?
I wouldn't lump it all together. Well, I would lump together a get-to-know-us video. Hey, I'm Ron, ABC Auto Sales. We've got cars, trucks, vans, snowmobiles, campers, and just do that quick. And that could become what they have is a trailer video. And then you could link that up and have that run right through your homepage on the website. Quick little get-to-know-us. But then I would go in and I would separate it by classification. Here's our here's our cars. Here's our trucks. Here's our trailers. Here's our motorcycles. Here's our snowmobiles. Did that answer that?
Can I add to that?
Sure.
Actually, there's value. We're similar setup to you, but we've probably got 300 to 500 plus videos, and I make my salespeople go out and do a video on every new piece of content. On an RV, I've got an RV channel, boat channel, because they use it as a tool. As soon as they get a sales call, hey, can I send you a video on this instantly? And they may do it personally or on one we've already done. It just drives the engagement better.
Sure, feeds it that way. So go to the back, then I'll come back up here.
YouTube Live compared to just YouTube videos. So, doing a live more traction, does it help?
I do not personally believe the YouTube Live so similar to the Facebook Live. Because of our space, we're not going to see much traction off that. I'd rather have the video content available for them when they want to watch it, which might be at 2:30 in the morning when I'm asleep. So.
Do you have to go into the AdWords platform to turn the video into an ad? Where does it do that? I'm not well versed in Google.
Sure. You could do it through the ad platform, through the Google Ads platform. And as you're logging in, it'll just, when it starts to asking you those questions, when it says, what do you want to do? I want to run a video. And then that's going to be the only option. For those who don't have the Google Ads platform, you could do it through your login right through YouTube. And it'll take your money that way just as quickly as it will through the AdWords platform. Yes?
Can you talk about pre-loading your keywords and settings for your videos?
Yes.
When someone goes to your YouTube page for your channel, can they see what your keywords are? Because like in our area, all of our competitors that don't have a channel, can we potentially use their business name as one of our keywords to drive more people?
Oh, you're getting real sneaky. I am a personal great fan of conquest marketing. So loading in other dealerships, and you could definitely do this, especially this a little, different from what the lady just prior to you was asking about, like through the AdWords. You could actually set up a conquest ad campaign where you could go in and you could draw geofences around all your competitors. You could load up all their names, and as someone is searching just for that competitor, you show up as an alternative. You cannot pretend to be them. Big no-no. You'll get blacklisted. But you can become an alternative, and I love doing that kind of ad. So I would highly recommend it.
One of the seminars yesterday, in relation to what you were saying, somebody came up with the search engine called Spy Food. And Spy Food will take, you can put in an email, a web address, and it will tell you what paid AdWords have been used on that website. So you could pull up your website and see what AdWords they've attached to it. Spy Food. Like Kung Fu, only Spy Food.
Wow.
I looked at it last night. It works.
Wow. Yes?
If I were to do this myself, how much time would you consider best practices I would need to spend daily, weekly? And did you say the average budget would be about $1,000?
Well, the budget could be whatever you want. I'm just using that as an example. What I typically recommend clients starting out, $100 a week, $500 a month, and start looking at your results, and then, pivot from there. So, and then you'll be able to tell the type of content that's really gaining traction, and then the type of content that's not gaining traction, and put the money behind the content that does gain traction and ditch the ones that don't. What we learned with Facebook is they said, fail fast and fail hard. And we want to do the same with this. If it's not getting traction, early on, it's probably not going to get traction, 30 days down the road. So just get rid of it.
How much time do I need to delegate? Daily, weekly?
Depending the length of the video that you wanted to do, starting out, I'd carve out probably like an hour a week and say, okay, we're going to start just to start. The first video is going to be the hardest. The second gets easier. The third gets easier. The fourth gets easier. And you don't need a lot of equipment. Good iPhone, good Android, GoPro. And what YouTube does is they're putting a lot of video editing companies out of business. You can edit it right through YouTube. It's called Creator Studio, and it automatically comes with it. You just load up the video. It'll put it right in the studio. You can add sound. You could compress it. You could add logos. Do whatever you want. You hit save, publish, boom, and you are almost a professional video creator.
Question about taking your video from YouTube and sending it to Facebook. Do you know, is there benefit to doing also the same video on Facebook? Are they going to show, is Facebook going to like their Facebook video better for organic searches and stuff than a YouTube video on Facebook?
I'm a big fan and believer of cross-promoting and taking that content that we create here and pushing it out through that channel. What I'm not a fan of is creating individual content because I know we don't have that much time, right? And creating something just for Facebook, something just for Instagram, something for YouTube. And that's where going back even to, from the publish page, if you set the channel up, you can push it out right from that page. Then you can go in later through Facebook and you could edit, the content. Hey, here's our newest video on trucks. Here's our newest video, and sort of customize it in just a couple of minutes.
Is Facebook's analytics going to show their video more than they show YouTube video? I guess I don't know if you know that. And besides someone going to your page, if you're looking at boosting it or just organically, because you can have 5,000 followers on your page, 5,000 people aren't going to see that video. So I didn't know if sharing a YouTube video is going
I don't know. I can tell you with this, with Facebook, generally speaking, at best, 5, maybe 8% of your followers are going to see your content. Again, this goes back to the billions of pieces of content that are being pushed out every day. There's just no way they're going to push that content out to everyone. So then Facebook makes their money with boosted posts, ads, and pushing that content out that way. And they're really not going to know what the source of that, because it's going to be an MP3 and an MP4 file that's just going to get populated, when you go to load that up, and it's just going to be content. Did that answer that? All the way in the back.
So are you using social media alone for your SEO and organic, or do you still recommend supplementing with like an audience bloom or something else to create legitimate backlinks?
I didn't hear the last half.
Are you supplementing the social media platforms with an audience bloom or a blog structure to create backlinks to boost your SEO or SEM?
I'm not using a blog, as far as that, just because we've seen the audiences, they're just not even responding to them. So it's a lot of time and effort to get very little response from it. What we are seeing is, again, kind of that off-site SEO where I'm participating with YouTube, participating with Instagram, participating with Facebook and Twitter, and all of that content will do amazing results to your optimization. Now, this is going to be a little off topic, and it's not even here. The 3 things that will dramatically improve your organic search results will be regular participation with Google My Business. You guys, somebody brought that up here a little bit earlier. Does everybody know what that page is? Yes? No? Pretty much? Okay. So participate with that regularly. That you can post every week, several times a week. Get your videos, your pictures by doing that, by participating with YouTube, and spending a couple dollars with Google with their pay-per-click ads. You will see your organic search results skyrocket. It's kind of funny how Google works. It's like, if you play in our sandbox, we just sort of move you right up the food chain, right? So we've seen several clients within a 6-month period, their organic results maybe started around 10, 12%, people finding them organically. It's up to 40, 45% just by spending time participating with these platforms. So.
What was the name of that platform again?
Google My Business. What else? Okay. Well, I appreciate everyone coming in today. I'll be here. I did have handouts. If you didn't get a handout and you want one, I got a few extras up here. And I'll be here to answer any other questions that you guys might have. So thank you very much.